Welcome to the Success Sensei podcast for anyone interested in success, happiness, and balance. We'll teach you how to be a black belt at life. And now, your host, former professional fighter, multiple world champion, entrepreneur, and investor, Robert Devane.
Bowing in, this is Roundhouse Rob, the Success Sensei, helping you to win at life one kick and punch at a time. Episode 287. Is Molly-Mae right?
It's the Success Sensei podcast main event.
Is Molly-Mae right? This is a different type of episode for me. I don't normally do any type of social commentary or pop culture commentary, but I actually think it's more than just the subject matter. I actually think it's to do with mindset and belief. There's a lot of controversy over left-wing politics, right-wing politics, and I think this episode falls into that type of a mindset, and it's very important that you think things through for yourself. And I think that Molly-Mae Hague has brought some interesting points to light, and I would absolutely love you to take a moment to think about it and where your mindset is at and what do you believe in, because it does greatly affect how you'll proceed, and the level of success or non-success that you could have is all down to your mindset. First of all, I suppose we should say, who is she? And before I even get into who she is, I am not in her fan club. I have no motive at all for this episode other than except, maybe the fact that I could possibly attract a more diverse listener base because it's a different type of an episode than I've normally done. But it's actually, we're going to talk about the same principles of success that I've talked about in the past. So who is she, first of all? Well, Molly-Mae Hague is a 22-year-old English social media influencer who was a runner-up on Love Island, the reality dating show. She's now the creative director of Pretty Little Thing, the UK-based fashion retailer. She's definitely in a power couple, a relationship with a fellow Love Island participant, professional boxer Tommy Fury, who happens to be the brother of Tyson Fury, the two-time world heavyweight champion. Right. So what is it, the controversy? What is it that she has said which has caused celebrities to comment, even UK politicians to comment? Well, basically, she was on an episode of a podcast called The Diary of a CEO, which is by Dragon's Den dragon Stephen Bartlett. Now, keep in mind, the episode is by a Dragon's Den dragon, an entrepreneur, and it's called The Diary of a CEO. So obviously, they're going to have their own definition of success, and obviously that would nearly make any person invited to do an interview go down a specific path when it comes to the mindset of success. So what is it that she said? What are the terrible things that she said? Well, one of the first things she said is, you're given one life and it's down to you what you do with it. You're given one life and it's down to you what you do with it. That doesn't sound like a terrible statement to me. What do you think about that one? How do you feel about that one? You're given one life and it's down to you what you do with it. Okay, second one. So I understand we all have different backgrounds and we're raised in different ways and have different financial situations. But if you want something enough, you can achieve it. And it just depends to what lengths you want to go to get to where you want to be in the future. How do you feel about that one? Is that completely dismissing, where you're at or how you started or the opportunities that you have, or is it a valid statement? How do you feel about it? Well, first of all, I don't really know what all the controversy is about, because none of that hits me as being very harsh, but maybe you're different. Maybe you think it deserves the backlash. But what is it that's causing the backlash of what she said? Is it her age? Is it the fact that she's 22, which is very young? Maybe, she didn't have, sorry for excess noise there. Maybe she didn't have the experience to word it in a way that wouldn't cause the backlash. I mean, 22 is a very young age. Is it her gender? Would a man have received the same level of criticism if he'd said similar things, or would it be inspiring? Is it her quick rise to fame and fortune? Again, she's only 22. Maybe, it's considered that she's undeserving of it at 22. Maybe there's other people that have worked a lot longer, a lot harder, and haven't reached the same levels of success. So maybe it's her quick rise to fame and fortune. Or is it her privileged background that she wasn't born into poverty? And keep in mind that in a perfect world, we would all be born into privilege. There wouldn't be poverty in a perfect world. There wouldn't be starvation. There wouldn't be money struggles. There wouldn't be dependence on, things that can absolutely destroy families, dependence on alcohol, dependence on drugs, all of these things. In a perfect world, we would all be born into privilege. And it's something to aspire to. Or do you think it's something to aspire to? Or do you think it's something to apologize for? How do you feel about that? And your answer to that does dictate how you'll proceed, because most parents want their children to have better lives than they did themselves. So with a lot of people who want to be financially independent, they do aspire to raise children or to have children in more privileged backgrounds and environments than they themselves had. And obviously that doesn't mean that they don't teach them the values that they learned themselves throughout their hardship, but surely you want things to improve as they go along and not to decline or not to stay the same. All the points basically about her age being 22, about her gender, about her quick rise to fame and fortune, about her privileged background, I think all those points can force you to compare negatively with yourself. And I absolutely think they can push jealousy buttons. Absolutely. Whether you like her, whether you don't like her, I think all of those points can fuel jealousy, can fuel comparison. And again, comparison, if it's not inspiring you, it is a negative thing. She did come out quick enough and apologise. Should she have apologised, I wonder, or was she just obviously protecting her brand and her job, because they'd have such a wide variety of customers that they didn't want to alienate anybody. But I want to put this to you, and this is an important point about just these things in general, whether you're right or whether you're left, wing or whatever, whether you agree with her, whether you don't agree with her. From a mindset point of view, if you simply had two choices, which one would you choose? So choice one, to believe you can achieve success. And the second option is to believe you can't achieve success. So you have two options. You can achieve success. You can't achieve success. Which one would you like to live your life believing? One is, ambition. The first one is obviously ambitious. And the second one is hopelessness, or a feeling of hopelessness. You can't achieve success. One of them is positive. One of them is negative. One of them is happy. One of them is sad. Now, which one would you want to live by? If that was your choice, you can only believe one and truly believe one, that you can achieve success or you can't achieve success. Now, I can hear you saying to me right now that, it's well and fine, believing that you can achieve success, but maybe you actually can't achieve the level of success that you are dreaming about or fantasizing about due to circumstances and stuff like that. Remember, there's a grey area to all of this. If you believe that number one is correct, if you believe you can achieve success, don't you think that simply believing that would help you to achieve more than you ordinarily would if you believed that you can't achieve any success? So what we're saying is, even a small bit of success, and whatever that means to you, even a small level of success is a hell of a lot better than no success at all. Mindset really does come into it. You can have, brilliant skills. I see it in martial arts all the time. I see it with fighters all the time. Amazingly talented fighters, physically gifted, but their mindset lets them down. And I've seen the opposite, where you have fighters who They're hard workers, and they're hard workers because they don't have the same natural talent and natural skill set, but their mindset is brilliant and puts them in the 1% category every time they compete and every time they fight. So mindset, when it comes to your own life, how you navigate through life, your own business, your own job, your own family, your own confidence, your own motivation, your own financial situation, everything comes down to your mindset. Your physical world is directly affected by what you think, how often you think it, what way you think about it, etc., etc. So make sure it's something that you work on. Make sure you don't just accept your own mindset. Make sure that you have a say in how it functions and what you think. You do have more control over your own mindset than you think, and you can immerse yourself with things that are positive for your mindset and ultimately help you to live the successful life that you want to have. That success, as I said many times before, just to finish on this point, success means many things to many different people. It's not necessarily the rich, fat, old businessman sitting on millions and millions of euro or dollars. It's whatever. It could be you being able to achieve, things that you thought might have been beyond your possibilities. It could be increasing your skill set. It could be just having the freedom. It could be having the freedom to do nothing. That's success as well, if that is your goal. So have a think about what it is that you want. Balance things out. What are you prepared to pay for the success that you do want? And by that I mean, what hardship are you willing to go through? What way are you willing to put yourself out there to what's the trade-off to be able to achieve the things that you want to achieve? And what ones are not worth it to you as well? That's a very, very important point. What are you not prepared to sacrifice? What isn't worth it? So concentrate on what you want and forget what you don't want. Hopefully that's helped you. Hopefully it's shaped your mindset. We're only on the second week of January. There's a lot of people struggling with focus, and that's why I thought that this episode was particularly good, because even though we've talked about Molly-Mae, we're really talking about focus and mindset and motivation and striving and goal setting. Message me anytime. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for any comments, reviews and shares. I'm Roundhouse Rob, the Success Sensei. Life is a fight you can enjoy and win. Bowing out.
This has been the Success Sensei, fighting the winning fight. So add us, subscribe, like, and comment. Keep those hands up and keep moving forward.